In this video, let's take a more detailed look at data tables in Angular Material. Let's start with the displayed columns property. This property, as the name suggests, controls the columns to be displayed in the browser. As you can see, it is just an array of strings. If I were to, for example, remove symbol from this list, take a look at the browser, the column is not displayed. So the property controls which of the columns have to be shown. But there is more to it than just showing and hiding of columns. The order in which you specify the fields to be displayed is the order in which the columns are displayed in the browser. You can see that we have the order as position, name, weight, and symbol. And in the browser, the columns are in the exact same order. Position, name, weight, and symbol. If you want the weight column to be the last column, you just have to specify the weight column as the last column in displayed columns property. So I'm going to cut this out and paste it after symbol. If I now go back to the browser, weight is displayed as the last column. Which now brings me to the HTML to highlight another point. The order in which you specify these column templates with the ng container tag doesn't affect the order in any way whatsoever. The order is controlled by the displayed columns property, which is specified to the mat header row and mat row components. But what does matter with the container column template is the mat column definition attribute. The value has to be a value from the displayed columns property. If I were to change position to, let's say, position test, save and take a look at the browser, you can see that the code breaks and the data table is not displayed. So make sure you specify the right column name to the template. Next, let's talk about the mat row component. You can see that we have two variables declared, row and columns. The columns property is set to displayed columns to indicate what data has to be displayed. Let's change this and see what happens. So in the class component, I'm going to create another property called displayed columns data. And in this list, I'm going to remove weight. Also, back in the HTML, I'm going to set columns to displayed columns data. If you now take a look at the browser, you can see that we have only 3 columns of data being displayed and 4 columns of header. The data for the weight column is hidden. So it is very much possible to set separate columns to be displayed for the header and the data. But then again, not sure if you would ever want to do that. Next, let's talk about the row declaration. What this helps us with is to get hold of the row data to handle events on each row in that data table. For example, I can add a click event binding and call a method that provides us with the row data. Let's call this log data and pass in that row variable. Now in the component class, we can quickly define log data accepts a row, and let's just console log it. If I save the files and take a look at the browser, open console and click on a row, you can see the corresponding row data being logged in the console. So if you have any action that has to be performed, for example, editing, deleting, or navigating to a different route based on this row data, this is the way to go. Pass in the data, extract the ID, probably of that column, and perform the necessary action. Alright then, I hope that now you have a much better understanding of how a data table works in Angular Material. Next, let's take a look at filtering, sorting, and pagination in data tables. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.